My name is Eric Koketso Shikobela. I was born and bred in South Africa, but I'm more of an African than of a South African, because Africa, in my understanding, Africa is one, and Africa should be one. We can't be divided by anything, because our pains, our struggles, our shame, our humiliation has been the same in the African continent. I am here now where Dedan Kimathi, the freedom fighter of Kenya, a leader to the Mau Mau, who fought the white regime, a man who felt inside of him that he cannot allow a white man to come in his own land and control his land, his thinking, his whereabout, where to go and where not to go. And he stood and died for what he believed in. Martin Luther King once said, if a man hasn't found something to die for, that man hasn't found a purpose to live. So Dedan Kimathi found his purpose. That's why he died for his purpose. I don't believe that we should mourn him. It was his purpose. We should celebrate him. We must celebrate what he stood for. We must celebrate what he fought for and what he believed in. And then, as the next generation, we must take the baton from his hand and run with it. There are many people in Africa, political leaders, kings and queens, royalties, people who have been murdered. People that even today, their families don't know where they are. Even in South Africa, there's a place where it's called Freedom Park. Freedom Park, it's a brainchild of President Nelson Mandela. He said, I want you to build Freedom Park, a place where we're going to teach the next generation about what happened in South Africa. How was apartheid, and then what did the colonizers did to us, and then how many people died, and where are we going? Where are we from? Where are we and where are we going? And Freedom Park, I remember the first time I visited Freedom Park, I felt inside of me that it's my calling to be part of making a difference in my country and in Africa as a whole. I felt inside of me that we cannot sit and fold arms. I felt inside of me that we as a new generation, we must take the baton and run with it. Each and every country in Africa, we must take the baton from our heroes, either those who have passed away or those who are alive. Learn from them. We have to know where we come from so that we may treasure where we are going. Once we don't treasure where we come from, we will not know where we are going anymore. And Kenya is a blessed country. Since I've been here, I felt blessed. And then when I entered here at the monument, I could feel the spirit of Dedan Kimathi. That's why as Africans, we believe that a human being, a person doesn't die. We say he lives as a spirit. Either you believe it or not, that's your take. But when I entered, I could feel his presence, spirit. And that spirit will keep on guiding us as Africans. It will keep on leading us on what to do and what not to do. Because we cannot sit at the tables and discuss to be oppressed. I don't know if you get me. People sit in the table and the deal doesn't favor Africans. It's a deal that favors other races or other people, but it oppresses the children of the soil. We have to learn from Dedan Kimathi. We have to learn from the late Steve Biko. We have to learn from Chrisan, freedom fighter of South Africa, Chrisan. He was murdered, he was shot, he was killed for what he believed in. So we have to stand up as Africans and say, Africa will be free. Africa will change. And Africa is not a poor continent. We are not poor. We are the most blessed continent. I can say we are the most blessed continent. God gave us everything. God gave us everything. I will say it straight, but Satan stole from us. But whatever the devil stole from us, we shall get it back. For God is justice. Whatever you lose, it shall return. We are learning today that leadership is not a career. We don't want political leaders or political servants who are there to push some careers or some hidden agendas. Each and every day, poverty, sicknesses, many bad things are happening in Africa. Not because we cannot resolve our own problems, because the colonizers taught us that we need them in everything. It's like they taught us that we don't have brains. Like in everything that we do, either small or big, we must consult with them. We must hear what they are saying. Is it successful with them? Will it work with us? We can no longer be an experimental laboratory. God gave us wisdom, knowledge. So we have now to push what we want. We have to achieve what we want as Africans. You know, there's a political leader in South Africa. His name is Julius Malema. That man is fighting for a black child to be in his rightful place. In his rightful place. Whoever hates Julius Malema hates the truth that he is speaking about Africa. Because he speaks and he stands for the truth. We need more leaders like him within our household, within our communities, within our municipalities, within our counties. In Kenya we say it's a county, we say it's a province. Within our counties, within our countries, and Africa as a whole. We need, I pray, and I've prayed, and I'm still going to pray for God to dethrone every leader in Africa. Head of state, it doesn't matter. Senior positions or junior positions. God must dethrone them. Those leaders who don't carry the best interest of the people. Those leaders who are like puppets of the colonizers, who take orders every day from them. We are tired of fronting, putting black presidents in the front. At the back, a white man is still leading. At the back, a colonizer is still there, jeopardizing the future of our children, our grandchildren, and of Africa as a whole. What will we tell our children if we don't want to stand up for what's right? What will we tell our children if we don't want to stand up for justice? Will we tell our children that we were afraid to fight? We are afraid to speak the truth? That's why you don't have food? That's why you don't have jobs? That's why you are sick? That's why we don't have clothes? That's why we are not advancing? We are afraid to fight? No, we can't tell them that. I will not be counted among those who feared to fight. As I said, Martin Luther King said, if a man hasn't found a reason to die for, he hasn't found his purpose. As Africans, we must find our purpose. We can't be afraid of death. All of us will die. All of us one day will die. And it's better you die for something than die for nothing. We have to stand up like Dedan Kimathi, Krisani, Oliver Tambo. We have to stand up. We have, as Africans, to also direct our prayers to Libya. We can't be quiet about the situation of Libya. We can't be quiet. The AU, the SADC, the leaders in Africa as a whole, there must be the voice of Africans. There must be the voice of what's happening in Libya. We must pray for Libya. Our continent can no longer be a bank where people come and withdraw whatever they want. We sell so much, we give so much, and we get so little. We give the treasure, we give our resources, we give everything. But what they give back, it's nothing. It's little. Paper, money is paper. The paper that they print. So Dedan Kimathi knew what he wanted. He fought for it. He stood for it. And his spirit will not rest until justice is served. Until today, we don't know where are his remains. Where are the remains of Kimathi? As Africans, are we so oppressed to an extent that we are not even given an opportunity to give our loved ones, our leaders, our heroes a decent burial? You fear a man while he's still alive. You see, they will not pursue you or kill you if they don't fear you. They feared him. They even fear him in his grave. Why can't you show us his grave? Because they fear him. We need to find his remains so that his wife, his children, his grandchildren, and great-grandchildren may have a place to point and say, here lies the remains of our father, the husband, the hero, the leader that was leading us. And Africa must stand up for this. It's not only the remains of Dedan Kimathi. There are many of freedom fighters in South Africa that we don't know where they are. But people like Dedan Kimathi, names that are well known, we can no longer try to suppress their history. We can no longer try to suppress what they did. We have to stand up for it so that we may know where we are going. I'm challenging the leaders, head of states, the president, people who are in power, decision makers, to come together and ask one question. Where are the remains of Kimathi? Where is the grave of Kimathi? Once we can find Kimathi, other leaders' remains will be found. Kenya will not be at peace with itself, will not find restoration, will not rest until Kimathi is given a befitting, majestic send-off. Send-off. And the suppressors of the truth, they must know that they cannot suppress the truth forever. You can hide the truth in any way you can, but it will find its way out. So it's best that as Africans, as people, we come together and stop betraying each other and speak the same language. If our no becomes a no, let it become a no. If our yes becomes a yes, let it become a yes. We must stop betraying each other. Sometimes we forget that there is God. If you betray our struggle, if you betray our heritage, if you betray our history, you will stand before God one day and answer for it. That man didn't die for nothing. He died for Africa. He died for us. He died for liberation. He didn't voluntarily take a gun or a weapon to his hand. He was forced to. He was forced to, because there is this tendency of the colonizers labeling our heroes, our freedom fighters, as people who were cruel or evil or wanted to fight. No, no, no. These people were led in fighting. Which good man or wonderful man in his right mind will never fight for his family, will never fight for his community, for his country, for his people? A right man who's not insane will not fold his arm and watch the enemy enter his house and take everything. So these people were forced to take the guns. How can I forget Winnie Madikizela Mandela? She fought for South Africa. She fought for the freedom. And in South Africa, she was labeled by colonizers as a bad woman, as a bad leader. She was not a bad leader. She fought for what was right. She stood for the rights of Africans before the eyes of colonizers or apartheid leaders, or the evil white people. I want to say the evil white people because not all of them were evil. There's certain of them who are evil. Just like there are bad white people and good white people, there are also bad black people and good black people. So it's not about race. It's about our morals and values. It's about our principality. It's about our attitude. Once your attitude is good, I don't see your race. Once you have morals, once you have values, I don't see that you are black, you are white, you are Chinese, you are Indian, you are Japanese. I don't see that. I see a good person. We need good people in life. Maitu Mukami, our freedom fight, the wife to Dedan Kimathi. We need the government to honor her the way she's supposed to be honored, to recognize her the way she's supposed to be recognized. We have this tendency of allowing, black countries have liked to allow someone to pass away. Once he has passed away, then monuments will be built, historical sites will be built. That person will start to talk about that person. We must learn to honor people while they're still alive. Maitu Mukami is still alive by God's grace. Let the leaders of Kenya, South Africa, Africa as a whole, those who are touched by what he has done and what he's been through, let them stand up to go to her and ask what he wants, what she wants. It's no longer time of trying to guess what you can do for her. She has her own brains, her own heart, her own dreams. And if the leaders of Africa can ask Maitu Mukami what she wants, I believe she's going to tell them. She wants to bear the remains of Dedan Kimathi. How can all the leadership fail to do that? Let us come together and make her dream to come through. Africa will not be the same. Africa is blessed. Our luta continua. The struggle continues.